So there's an absolute ton of YouTube channels out there that live and die on these things, dash cams, Russian dash cams, UK, US, and so on across the globe of each one. But realistically, in this day and age, are they any good? Do they work? What can they be used for? What's the law surrounding what you can do with it? We're going to find out about all of those things in this video, including about this Nextbase 522GW. Is that any good? So stick with me. Let's see what happens. So cameras like this Nextbase one is relatively inexpensive. You know, there's a price list now on the side of the screen of the different ones you can have. This one is very, very high quality. The footage from it is easily croppable and it captures a really good wide angle view. I've been sent multiples of these things over the last few months from various Chinese outlets, well, more European models as well. And generally speaking, the Nextbase one has been pretty flawless along the way. You do have to get an extra fast card if you want to use the 3 cameras or even the 2 cameras, the one for the internals and otherwise. But there's another factor to take into account. What exactly is the law surrounding the footage that you get every day on a dash cam? So this is the guidance from the Office of the Data Protection Commissioner, and I want to stress guidance, as none of this is law. There was a case called Rhines vs. Urad in 2014. The court considered that, to the extent that video surveillance covers, even partially, a public space and is accordingly directed outwards from the private setting of a person processing the data in that manner, it cannot be regarded as an activity which is purely personal or household activity for the purposes of the second indent of Article 3.2 of Directive 95/46. So, shooting footage in the public area from a private area can be considered a data controller, and for the purposes of data protection legislation, you must comply with the principles of data protection. The only people who can actually get your footage is the Garda, or Irish police. They can request a copy of dashcam footage from you in relation to the investigation of a crime. The provision of personal data, including dashcam footage, to law enforcement authorities is permitted under the Section 41 of the Data Protection Act of 2018. So notwithstanding all of the stuff I've told you about and all these laws, rules, regulations, guidelines, whatever you want to call them, data protection things, actually the Nextbase 522GW is the best one on the market that I can find. This one just does everything I want. This one even has a polarizing filter on the front that you can adjust to see better through your own windscreen. It works. It's easy to get the footage out either by taking out the SD card or just transferring it directly to your phone and share it from there. I didn't need to change any of these, by the way. You just literally went in here and I could do what I want. Parking mode is one you should remember though. If you leave it on, if the car is hit when the car is parked and not turned on, the dash cam will start to record anyway. It'll use its internal battery. Internal battery is not very long. It won't last very long running on battery, so I wouldn't bother with it. Speed units and things like screen dimming and auto power off, they're all little settings you can mess around with yourself and get in and out. There's nothing really in there that's terribly necessary. This was literally plug and play, which is really straightforward. So using the camera is really straightforward. Here's a comparison of using my large DSLR camera strapped into the car, filming forward with the dash cam in front of it, compared to actually filming with the dash cam itself. This is footage directly from the dash cam in 1080p at 60 frames a second. As you can see, there's good detail in every single shot. The contrast is nice, nothing's blowing out. I can see in the shadows and everything works absolutely perfectly. It's also worth noting at the bottom of the screen it shows my speed, my current latitude and longitude, the time and the date all in at the bottom, which is absolutely perfect. You can add an internal camera, and the external camera also records audio. Audio is actually pretty good. Now look, there are times where you want to hum and sing away to yourself, and at that point you just pull the camera off the side of this one. So I just move the camera over a bit so you can see what's happening in the other seats as well if you want to. So you can add an internal camera and a rear window camera to the setup so you can really keep an eye on what's happening around you. Even in the event of a collision, I would rather have the footage than not. But just remember, the footage can be used against you as well. You can pick up a Nextbase dashcam in Harvey Norman's, DID Electrical, Power City, Expert Ireland and Euronics Ireland, along with other leading retailers. I highly recommend the 522GW as it's effortless. It has its own app and can use Alexa right from the camera. I'm glad you watched this far into the review. If you're into this kind of thing and you want more of these reviews, hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments that you like this or you don't like it. Or you say, go back to cars, Bob, get away from these dash cams. Whatever you want to do, let me know in the comments down below. I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts on this. That's the Camry behind me, which is also on my channel as a video review, or will be by the time you watch this. So thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, I will see you on the far side.